In the unforgiving world of boxing, legends aren't just born, they're forged in fire, tested by time, and sometimes they fall. 2024 wasn't just another chapter in boxing's storied history. It was the year that rewrote everything we thought we knew about the sport. The year when giants tumbled, when the impossible became reality, and when the boxing world collectively held its breath. The announcement that shocked the world. When the news first broke, most thought it was a joke. Mike Tyson, the man whose very name had become synonymous with boxing dominance, would face Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer who had spent years being dismissed as nothing more than a social media sensation. The announcement set boxing forums ablaze. Veterans of the sport called it a circus. Purists labeled it an insult to boxing's legacy. But beneath the outrage lay an undercurrent of curiosity. Iron Mike, even in his later years, carried an aura of invincibility. His recent training videos had gone viral, showing glimpses of the speed and power that had once terrorized the heavyweight division. Jake Paul, despite his controversial path to boxing, had shown steady improvement with each fight. The question wasn't just whether Jake could win, it was whether he could survive. The build-up, more than just a fight. The months leading up to the fight became a story of contrast. Tyson's training camp was shrouded in mystery, with only occasional glimpses of the former champion's preparation. Each video that emerged showed the same raw power that had defined his career, his hooks still carrying the devastation that had claimed so many victims. Paul's camp, by contrast, was an open book. Social media documented every step of his preparation. Critics called it showboating, but beneath the carefully crafted public image lay a deadly serious commitment. Paul's sparring partners spoke of his improved technique, his growing ring IQ, and most importantly, his unwavering determination. The final press conference crackled with tension. Tyson, still imposing despite his years, fixed Paul with the same intimidating stare that had broken opponents before the first bell. Paul, to his credit, showed none of his usual bravado. Instead, he spoke with unexpected reverence about the opportunity to face a legend, while making it clear he hadn't come to lose. Fight night, when legends meet reality. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric. Celebrity row read like a who's who of entertainment and sports. Boxing legends dotted the crowd, each with their own prediction for how the night would unfold. The betting odds heavily favored Tyson, but there was an undercurrent of uncertainty in the air. Tyson's entrance was vintage Iron Mike. Black shorts, no socks, the same intimidating presence that had defined his career. Paul's entrance, surprisingly subdued by his standards, showed a fighter who understood the gravity of the moment. The opening round went exactly as most predicted. Tyson charged forward, his punches carrying the same bad intentions they always had. Paul, showing respect for the legend's power, maintained distance, his footwork keeping him just out of range. But there was something different about his movement, a confidence that seemed to grow with each avoided punch. By the third round, the unthinkable began to unfold. Paul wasn't just surviving, he was competing. His jab found its mark with increasing frequency. His right hand, when it landed, seemed to affect Tyson more than anyone expected. The legend's pressure remained relentless, but the younger man's stamina was becoming a factor. The middle rounds told the story of youth versus experience. Tyson's power remained dangerous, but his punch output began to slow. Paul, sensing the shift, started to take calculated risks. His combinations became longer, his movement more assured. The crowd, initially hostile to the YouTuber, began to murmur in appreciation of his performance. The moment everything changed. It happened in the 8th round. Tyson, loading up for one of his trademark hooks, left himself exposed for a split second too long. Paul's counter right hand landed clean, a punch that would define his career. The legend staggered, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Paul, showing both respect and killer instinct, pressed his advantage without rushing in recklessly. The final rounds became a testament to both men's heart. Tyson, despite being hurt, never stopped coming forward. Paul, now bleeding from a cut above his eye, showed he could face adversity like a true boxer. When the final bell rang, the arena erupted in a roar that contained both shock and appreciation. The judge's decision, a split decision victory for Jake Paul, sent shock waves through the boxing world. But it wasn't just the result that made headlines, it was the way it happened. Paul hadn't won by fluke or luck. He had outboxed a legend, showing skill, heart, and respect for the sport in the process. The Gypsy King's fall, Usyk versus Fury. Just when the boxing world thought it had seen everything, December 21st, 2024, brought another seismic shift. Tyson Fury, the undefeated Gypsy King, would put his heavyweight crown on the line against Oleksandr Usyk in Riyadh. The size difference was stark, Fury towering over the Ukrainian technician at the weigh-in. The betting odds reflected conventional wisdom. Fury's combination of size, skill, and experience had seemed unbeatable. His recent performances had been masterclasses in heavyweight boxing. Usyk, despite his Olympic pedigree and perfect professional record, was seen by many as too small to threaten the champion. A masterclass in boxing science. From the opening bell, Usyk implemented a game plan that would be studied for years to come. His footwork was exceptional, making the much larger Fury miss and pay for every mistake. The champion's usually precise jab struggled to find its target, while Usyk's counters landed with surgical accuracy. Round after round, Usyk's mastery of distance and timing nullified Fury's advantages. The champion's trademark combinations, usually so effective, found only air. Usyk's movement wasn't just defensive, it was creating offensive opportunities that began to wear on Fury's confidence. The 10th round became instant classic material. Fury, frustrated and behind on the cards, unleashed a barrage of power shots, but Usyk's counter left hand landed flush, sending the champion stumbling backward. The standing 8 count that followed sent the crowd into a frenzy. When the final scorecards were read, 115 to 112, 113 to 114, 114 to 113 for Usyk, boxing had a new heavyweight king. The Ukrainian's victory wasn't just an upset, it was a masterpiece of technical boxing, proving that skill and strategy could overcome any physical advantage. The aftermath, boxing's new reality. These victories represented more than just upsets. They marked a fundamental shift in boxing's landscape. Jake Paul proved that the path to boxing greatness could come from unconventional origins. Usyk showed that the sweet science, when mastered completely, could overcome any physical disadvantage. The implications for the sport are far-reaching. The old guards have fallen, but their legacies remain untarnished. Instead, these fights have added new chapters to boxing's eternal story, where heart, skill, and determination can overcome any odds. Looking forward, the sport's evolution. As we move forward, these shocking results have set the stage for a new era in boxing. The divisions are wide open, new stars are emerging, and the possibility of the impossible keeps fans coming back for more. These weren't just fights, they were reminders of why boxing remains the most compelling sport in the world. Stay with Glove Goals for more incredible stories from the world of boxing. Subscribe now and never miss another historic moment in the sport we love. Because in boxing, tomorrow's shock upset is just one bell ring away. Remember, in this sport, legends never die. They just make way for new ones to be born.